Hello, my name is nyröp, and I'm a Division III student at Hampshire College, concentrating in media art and critical theory. This past year, I've been able to combine these disciplines into one thematic and collaborative project called Embarrassment Party, Contemporary Artistic Practice and the Affects of Cloud Computing. So the project poses some questions about contemporary digital life, including what is the cloud, which I'll answer in a moment. What does the cloud imply and what does it obscure, which I'll try my best to address in this talk. And finally, how can artists mediate a more empathetic vision of the cloud? This last question is really the main focus of my project. So what is the cloud? Cloud computing is what allows our local devices, including phones, laptops, and tablets, to access and interact with data on remote servers. The cloud is Gmail, the cloud is Netflix, the cloud is Facebook, and the cloud is porn. The cloud comprises all the things that our browsers can visit, but our computers do not have. It is this feeling of immediately grasping, but not sustainably owning, not unlike the credit system. The cloud is always too particular and too vast for discourse. Its connections are always too many, too arbitrary, and too deep to comprehend or control on an individual or local level. So this kind of personal immediacy that precludes dialectical engagement is what the cloud implies. It is this remote intimacy that is broadly available yet shallowly understood. It is open for participation, yet distributed, opaque, and diffuse. In this way, the cloud works through abstraction. It abstracts the hardware, code, and responsibility away from us, hiding the guts and putting forward its friendliest interface. Via the cloud, we are invited to eat the wires and make them mobile. We lose the ability to see how our interactions are working, and instead perceive only whether they work or not. And more often than not, they work without question. So this understanding of the how, the why, and the who hiding between each click and response is precisely what the cloud obscures. In other words, the cloud takes the inter out of the internet and expands into the world, trading the intermediary wires of connection for the existential wirelessness of connectivity. To illustrate this point, on the left I have some Google image search results for the internet, and on the right I have some for the cloud. Here you can see a key difference between internet wires that are tangible, even though their codes are not, and these wireless and cloudy things, which look friendly, magical, and marketable. In this latter model of wirelessness, the cloud is depicted as a vague and indeterminate feeling of glamour and precarity, luxury and embarrassment. And this is where my project really takes form. So in November of this past year, I started planning a virtual artist residency, in which I would pick 7 artists, 8 including myself, to spend several weeks discussing the affects, aesthetics, and ethics of the cloud. By January, I had received about 50 applications from artists scattered across the globe, working in a variety of mediums, and by February, I had chosen and notified 7. So over here to the left, we have Annalise Gelman, who makes multimedia poetry. Here's Jessie Darling, who makes multimedia installations in London and Berlin. Sanguine CB is a persona of artist Elspeth Walker. Christine Brasch is a video and net artist in Guangzhou. Emilio Vavarella is an Italian artist who scrapes data to make conceptually driven works. Mehran Abdul Mohammadi is a performance artist and writer in New York. Victor Timofeev does sound art, browser art, and illustration in Riga. And this last one hiding back here is myself. So once the artists and residents were chosen, we immediately started talking in group Skype chats and on Facebook about the work that we wanted to make in conversation with each other. Embarrassment Party became the name of the residency and the project as a whole, and points directly to the effective, precarious, yet eager nature of the cloud as we envision it. And here I should quickly mention that I've never actually met any of these artists in person. The residency really did take place in the cloud. So these chats culminated in a group art installation at Hampshire College that opened a few weeks ago, and the online version that you see here, which will be officially launched in the next week. Both installations include 5 interactive poems that Annalise Gelman wrote and I coded about the cloud, nausea, and silence. So here we have the 5 poems. and these you can interact with through the drag function, in which you can completely scramble the words that she has written or create something purposeful and new. Or you can use the eraser function to actually silence out her language. So this next piece over here is a collaborative work by Christine Brosh and Jessie Darling, which plays into Christine's video on individual demand or void project. The project consists of this website for an exciting and free service in which users can fill out this Google form about the video they want made, and Christine makes it happen. So here you can see all of the different things that you can fill out in this form, including how long you want it to be, who will be narrating, who will be directing, who will be asking, or my personal favorite, describe the psychology of your video, in which you can choose how viewers should feel at the end of the video. So wasted, hypnotized, insecure, betrayed, connected, or my favorite, hygienic, which I really enjoy. Back on the main page, you can navigate to this FAQ section, which brings us here. And this is actually the piece that was made in collaboration with Jessie Darling and Christine Brosh.
Sunbeam, a pretty girl with a little son, 50-year-old cake with my sister's name on it, an elderly woman who pushes past me on a narrow brocaded ladder platform to jump to her death because she's ready. In general, it's beautiful. There's a lion as well. I remember a bodega selling coffee on the Upper East Side in a hot, muggy dawn. And my dream in New York was New York dreaming me. A last memory of the barn, and all was painted black. There were boats and water because that's how things flow, that's how they go. There was arguments and love stories and power struggles all happening. Lives end, but life doesn't, and this we can agree on. It's the closest thing to God, ineffability of it, our silly way of living so full of ourselves, and every baby born full of itself as well. Winning meant only to free the old ghost through transforming the old ghost into what's alive and dynamic. A grudge, a stagnant promise, death, an old feud, their ways of stopping. The magic was strong and dangerous, and we'd bitten off more than we could chew. But no, some of us didn't see the danger, and that helped. And the others saw that there was no way but truthful and hardline, no time to fuck around. At times the magic slowed to the size and breadth of a man's life, and no bigger or blacker than that. So, not knowing quite what we were getting into, we paid no mind to the black lines and danger signs, and broke the bad spell. Not all at once, but eventually and definitively. Everyone all human together. A boat gliding smoothly across a bay, very calm, holding hands. Ghosts all there with us. No longer malevolent, but relieved and happy, no resistance. It was an animal relief, like how Puss in Boots felt when he took off his boots and went out looking for she-cats on his all fours, and found one, and ran with her a while in the night. Companionable inevitability of animal nature. Just right. A swimming pool, sunbeam, yeah.
So there are other pieces in the show that consider the cloud in surveillance, the cloud in transnational capital, the cloud in labor, and the cloud in theft. But return quickly to the last of my 3 questions from the beginning. I'd like to read a short excerpt from my curatorial statement. Our actions have become porous, complicit, and confused via social plugins, multinational investors, friends of friends, conspicuous absences, and inferred consensus. We click here and a server in Texas complements our labor with its own. We click there and an advertising agency cashes in. We click here and our photos become the property of something or someone else we don't know. We click there and our contact lists are spammed. No one clicks, and we delete our content over the unsettling lack of response. We are queasy. Much more than the servers, routers, cables, and agreements to terms of service that comprise it, we know the cloud to be a precarious factory and a nauseous feeling. We also know it to be a medium through which resistance, eagerness, and generative forms of embarrassment can still materialize. If the cloud can no longer be extricated from protocols of social, political, economic, and emotional life, we hope that this installation might inform a more empathetic future for those who will have been uploaded into it. So what does a more empathetic vision of the cloud look like? And more importantly, what does it feel like? I hope that you will all find the chance to browse the installation after its launch and will come to your own conclusions about how you want to engage the cloud in the future. Thank you.